Coding is the key to unlocking the door to innovation. This video will be your one stop guide to understanding everything about data science, code development, DevOps, and mobile application development. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Skiller's YouTube channel. I am Soumya, a software engineer and an educator. Before we get into the video, make sure you check out our free masterclasses by industry leading experts. Link is in the description. The very first job profile that we will talk about today is data science. So, a data scientist is a professional who collects, analyzes, and interprets huge amount of data in an organization. This domain, data science, is a mixture of multiple skills, and mainly these three skills: number one, hacking skill; number two, mathematics, statistics knowledge; and number three, substantive expertise. These three are most significant. So he or she is someone who knows more statistics than a computer scientist, and vice versa. Someone who extracts insights from messy data. The startups and bigger organizations today are making so much of profit just because of data, and these data scientists help them in squeezing most insightful information out of the data available on the internet. As per LinkedIn, this is the most promising career in recent years. And if these domains excite you, like computer science, statistics, mathematics, and analytics, or programming, then indeed data science is somewhere for you, because in this domain, like programming languages like Python are used, and a lot of computation is also involved. So if you feel that mathematics, calculations, these things excite you, then you can indeed go ahead and explore this domain. These are some of the job roles in this domain: data scientist, data analyst, data engineer, data architect, ML engineer, BI developer, and database administrator. So, as you can see, data science is not just about the profile data scientist. Multiple job roles are available in this domain. Even BI developer, because BI is a very important tool in this domain, data science. And obviously, I mean, if you will be knowing Python, R program, such languages, then you can maybe later on switch to software engineering as well from data science domain. And these are tools, languages which are heavily used in the data science domain are Python, MATLAB, SQL. Now, SQL is very significant because I just told you, right, that database administrator is also one very significant job role in this domain. So if you know SQL, if you know how to manage databases, the big amount of data, then obviously you will be a good fit, right? So Excel, Java, SAS, SPSS, and Hadoop, which is for like file system computing. These all are very significant tools and languages for this domain. Now let's talk about applications of data science. So it is used in many industries, ranging from entertainment to education. Number one, if you talk about manufacturing, so it is used for automatic manufacturing units as well as predicting potential problems in the manufacturing industry. Number two, e-commerce, for identifying consumers, which consumer set you must target, the brand must target. I mean, these things can be easily identified with the help of this domain. And then banking sector, like for fraud detection, for credit risk modeling, and in transport, it is used for car monitoring system for enhancing the safety of the passengers as well. And lastly, healthcare, for drug discovery as well as for virtual assistance. Moving ahead, these are the key highlights of this job role. It is high demand in every industry. According to the reports, the base salary is 36% higher than other job average income, and it has higher growth and learning rate, as well as the scope of the job role is flourishing. And there are many research, and as per one of the researches by NASCOM, by 2025 this sector is going to grow rapidly by like a huge amount of $1 billion. So I mean, if you are in 2023, 24, you're thinking that you should get into this domain, then I think this is a good time. And especially if you are good in mathematics, if you are good in programming, then why not go ahead and explore this domain? So Edward, who is a data scientist, once said that without data, you are just another person with an opinion. Moving ahead, now let's talk about the second domain, that is code development. So I know that for many of you, this would be sort of, new word. Like Go is a programming language. Many people don't even know this. But let me tell you about this, because if you're in tech industry, and let's say if you're passionate about Java, but it's important to know what other things are happening in the tech industry, right? So Go is a programming language designed by Google to help solve Google's problem. Yes, initially they created the programming language Go just to make products, make projects internally inside Google. But nowadays many people, many developers use this programming language. So this is the history of the Go programming language. In 2007 they started and built this, mainly Robert, Rob and Ken. These three engineers were kind of main founding people, and a lot of other people from the tech community came in to make this idea into reality in 2008, and then Go become a public open source project in 2009, and then finally in 2010, uh, like developers, programmers across the world started adopting it, started using this programming language. So these are the founders, as you can see, Ken, Rob, and Robert, and many other engineers, many other developers inside from inside the Google as well as outside. So why Go? Like we already have so many programming languages, right? We have Java, we have C++, Python. We have so much options. So why Go? So it eliminates slowness, it eliminates clumsiness, as well as improve productivity of of us as developers. We find it very easy and smooth. So way back when I was doing my internship, software engineering internship of 6 months, so I was mainly given the tasks of HTML, CSS, JS, etc. And like I got to know that internally in my organization as well, many teams were using Golang. And I kind of started learning it. I picked one LinkedIn learning course, and I kind of, basic syntax and everything. I got to know about what basic things are. Let me tell you, this is very much similar to any other programming language. Like the fundamental core concepts, like, for loop, while loop, basics are all same, just a bit of syntax changes here and there. And it's very simple, literally. They are kind of saying it is simple, it literally is. If you once try it, you'll yourself feel it. So it was designed by and for people who write, read, debug, and maintain large software systems. So the main aim was kind of, making things easy for people who write big softwares, and they kind of achieve this goal. And Go's purpose is not to do research programming language design. So, like I already explained you, here you can see again what is Go. So, Go is a compiled, concurrent, garbage collected, statically typed language which is developed by Google. This is kind of summary of what Go programming language is. So, who are using this programming language today? I would say many organizations, many companies are using Go programming language, and you can see these are a few of them, like Docker, Heroku, Amazon, YouTube, etc. So why Go? I already explained it very well, but again to give it a summary to you, like in 2017, the survey was done, and it was the fastest growing language in the world. So you can assume the popularity it gained over its adoption in the developer community. So this is the salary of a Golang developer in USA. And talking about India, these are the statistics, these are the reports from Glassdoor. This is the average annual salary of a Golang developer. And as it is, this is like the logo. If someone asks you like what this picture is in programming context, then you can easily say now that okay, this is the symbol for Go programming language. It's popular tooling language, is smaller build artifacts, doesn't require separate runtime, and it is built for concurrency. So if you are a software engineer who is very much into the IT domain since long. So these are, keywords like artifacts or concurrency, runtime, these would be kind of, very much simple for you. But if you're a fresher, I know it would be a bit tough for you. But as of now, like we have to cover up other profiles as well. I can't sit to explain these technical terms, but we will try to cover it up in the coming tutorials. This is the quick roadmap of Go development. So if you want to get into this domain, number one thing, the very first thing that you will do is learn the basics, which include basic syntax, variable declaration, data types, everything, and like conditionals, packages, imports, exports, typecasting, arrays, slices, map, make, function, all of this in the Go programming language. After you will be done with the basics, which include these loops as well, like if, else, for loop, etc. You can switch to learning some advanced concepts like what are Go modules, and you can start building CLIs. You can explore the types, type assertions, and switches, as well as then you can explore web frameworks, logging, real-time communication, API clients, all of these things in the Go domain. Also, one thing I quickly want to tell you is many people use Go as the backend programming language, just in case if you are confused if it's front end or backend. So you can take a picture of this roadmap thingy and go at your pace with this programming language. Now, moving ahead, number third is DevOps engineer. So, DevOps, this domain is made up of two words really. Number one, dev, and then ops. So, dev include code, plan, building, and testing. And if we talk about ops, it include release, deployment, operate, as well as monitoring of the software after it is deployed, right? And the roles and responsibilities in the DevOps domain are mainly four, which include automation. So, as a DevOps engineer, you are supposed to automate the repetitive tasks, and you have to manage infrastructure. You have to monitor the project health, and let's see if there is some crash or there is some bug and customer is reporting it, so you have to troubleshoot it as well. And like that's why it's kind of advised you can't manually handle things quickly. So automation is a very significant part of DevOps engineering. And then CI/CD is kind of the heart of this domain. CI helps quickly find and correct errors to improve product's quality. You must know Jenkins, CI/CD, all of these stuff. You should know Groovy scripts as well, because many of the Jenkins pipeline, all those things are written in Groovy. So a sound knowledge of all of these technologies, all of these programming languages or scripting languages will make you a good fit for DevOps domain. The programming language which you must focus on if you are willing to get into DevOps domain are Python, Ruby, Go, Node.js, Rust, C++. I'm not asking you to learn all of this, of course, but I would say one or two of these will be too good, especially Python, because I mean, with Python, you can like easily start your programming career. It's very easy and smooth to learn, right? And number two, operating system. Understand operating system concepts like process management, thread concurrency, sockets, memory, storage, file systems. And let me tell you, if you're going for DevOps engineering interview as well, then these are very common things which might be asked to you. And if you are, let's say, coming from a technical background, if you have done your bachelor's in technology, if you are from, tech domain already, then you would already be knowing these things, like one programming language, like at least C++, right? And these operating system concepts also, because in BTech, in most of the universities, they offer these in the syllabus itself, like networking or operating system concepts. And these are the managing servers, like shell scripting tools, networking commands. These are very, very important. Feel free to take a screenshot of all of this if you are very much interested in diving deep into the DevOps engineering domain. And then fact number four is learn basic networking and security concept. So you must need basic concepts like OSI model, which is very famous question in networking domain. Like you would have seen this question in your exams as well if you are coming from technical background. DNS, how HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, these things work. You obviously must know the full form of each of these. And then know the setup and be able to set up the web servers, reverse and forward proxy, caching server, and firewall as well. So learn infrastructure as a code that includes container configuration, management tools, and infrastructure provisioning as well. Moving ahead, learn CI/CD tools as I said earlier as well, and these include mainly like Jenkins, TeamCity, Drone, Circle CI. There are kind of multiple CI/CD tools available. The most common one, which is widely used, is Jenkins. And like for writing the pipeline, script, etc., Groovy is very common scripting language. Or in your organization which you join, they might be kind of using some other scripting language, but knowing basics of at least one scripting language will be good for you. And then learn to monitor the software and infrastructure, because the DevOps engineer are supposed to monitor the projects, are supposed to monitor the software once it's deployed. And for that, these tools like Datadog, Zabbix, App Dynamic, New Relic, etc. are heavily used. So these are the cloud providers: AWS, Google Cloud, Heroku, Linode. So you can like learn about at least one or two of them. You must know basics of how cloud providers work, right? Now let's talk about the final domain, which is mobile application development. So mobile application development, if you talk about this domain, you yourself would be knowing like web development or mobile application development. These are kind of evergreen domain, and like mainly three types are there in mobile application domain. So we have Android, we have iPhones, right? Mainly we have two phones, but why did I say that there are three types in mobile application development? Because like there are developers who can build softwares, who can build application for, let's say, specifically Android platform. There are others who can make applications for iPhones. And the third category is there are such developers who write code once and it is for kind of all platforms. So you would be kind of feeling that the third one is very, cross-platform one is very good, because you are supposed to write code only once and it will run across platforms. But some of the, native or dedicated features are compromised in cross-platform, and that's why the native ones are still preferred a lot. For Android, if you are willing to get into this, Kotlin and Java are the preferred programming languages. If you want to get into iOS development, so the developers who develop the application, who develop the software for iPhones specifically, they are called as iOS developers. And Swift or Objective C are heavily used programming languages for this domain. And for cross platform, Flutter, Dart, these frameworks and languages and technologies are heavily used. So if you want to get into mobile application development, it will remain forever kind of evergreen. I mean, if internet is there, these platforms like Play Store is there, App Store is there. So the need of applications is never going out of fashion. Same is true with websites as well, right? But as compared to website development, this is a bit tough to learn, because like the softwares which are needed in mobile application development are a bit, tough to understand initially. And you also need to take care of the hardcore specifications, like your laptop should have good amount of memory, RAM, etc., to getting started with Android Studio if you want to get into Android development or iOS or cross platform. Okay, and this is one graph which shows a bit of comparison between mobile operating system and Android operating system. Like this is telling us the database of how many Android users are there and how many iPhone users are there. So as you can see, like the data for Android is still high. The number of applications which are getting downloaded from Play Store are much more as compared to App Store. And if you go and check out the statistics on Google Play Store, the number of applications getting published are every day increasing, and so is the rate of people, of the consumers who are downloading it. Okay, and these are kind of quick reasons why you should get into this domain. This is booming domain in tech, and as per these statistics, you can see every day around 1.5 million Android devices are activated across the globe, and there are over these many number of applications. I mean, you can see these are in so many digits on Google Play Store, and it's growing rapidly. And with the help of this technology, let's say you learn, you know that, okay, I know how to develop mobile application. So you can bring some ideas to reality as well. We know the success story of Ola Uber, how it started. Like some students from college, from university, they built a group, they participated in hackathons, etc. They had an idea that, okay, let's try to build an application which eases transportation, like people can book the cab, etc. This very small area, but they pitched it, they got funding, and we know what these startups or companies are today. So I mean, nothing is impossible if you know how to code. There is no limit how far you can go. And freelancing, open source, indeed, you can explore these domains as well. If you know how to develop these, you can get clients and you can like make apps or websites from them for them and earn as well. What are the tools? So if you are specifically interested into, let's say, Android application development, you will need Android Studio, you will need an Android phone or maybe emulator to run the app. And then for becoming a developer, you have to kind of change the settings of your Android phone if you are willing to kind of run the application in your phone. Otherwise, you can like try emulator as well. And as I said, Java and Kotlin are preferred for this domain. This is the roadmap for this domain. You can take a screenshot of this and get started with your journey. I hope this video was helpful for you. If yes, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more such insightful content. If you have any queries or doubts, drop them in the comment section below and I will be happy to answer them.